Fam, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are doing products of the month. Happy February to you. I did this last month and you guys seem to really enjoy it. The purpose of products of the month are to basically highlight some old products, majority old products, just, you know, getting into it, revisiting some things, making sure we are using all of the makeup that we already have because y'all know we have plenty, and we'll throw in a few new things here and there. So first product of the month, also, it's going to be tutorial style. Last time I just talked about the products, so I'm going to talk about them as I put them on my face. So the first product of the month is going to be my badescu oil-free moisturizer. This has the SPF of 17. I already have it on my face. I ran out of my Clinique Dramatically Different. That was the moisturizer that I was using. Since I ran out of it, I didn't want to go off and buy something else because I'm trying to focus on using all that I have. So this was already on my face. The next product, the curls are back. You guys, I left my sewing in as long as I can. However, the way my workouts are, just how things are set up, I sweat so much and I just need to really be able to get in there and wash my hair. So we're still on the mission to grow this hair out. It's probably gonna get really awkward, a little not so cute sometimes, but just wanted to address that elephant in the room. Okay, next up, we are going in with the Urban Decay All Nighter Ultra Matte Setting Spray. This is a new product. I like putting this on before I throw my foundation on, especially if I'm using a foundation that is not matte. I just feel like it helps control the oil a little bit. So loving that product. You guys saw my wear test using that. Probably the last video, maybe 2 videos back. I'll make sure to link that down below. And then for foundation and concealer, it's still the same too because I've got to get through them. So going in with the Nars Natural Radiant, I'm in the shade Macao, and I'm just going to give myself 2 little squeezes there with my Makeup Forever blush to throw it on. If you guys saw my declutter video when I was talking about foundations, that is definitely a product that I will not be purchasing a lot of this year, just simply because I can never use them all. So whenever I do my foundation wear test, more than likely it's going to be with a sample, kind of how I did the Bite Beauty. Guys, I wasn't even filming. Okay, so here's what happened. All I did was set my face. I used the Beauty Changemaker powder to set my foundation. I love this powder. Let me zoom in. I love it because I feel like it makes my pores, just my skin, the overall appearance of my skin looks so smooth. Because it is lighter, I can set my foundation with it. The Laura Mercier Translucent Deep, it is darker, so whenever I try to set my foundation with it, it does alter my foundation shade, which, okay, because there is a purpose for this. There are people that have deeper complexions and they need this versus a white translucent powder. But for my skin tone, I can only use that on when I don't have on any foundation, if I'm just doing my concealer, and then I'll set the rest of my face with that. But this, I love. I use it to touch up. I use it to set foundation. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right, now we're gonna sculpt a little bit. I'm putting my Natasha Denona sculpting powder to the side. There ain't nothing wrong with it, but we're just trying to explore and dive deep into some other products. So I'm bringing back my MAC Swiss Chocolate. It is marketed as a blush, and when you look at it, you're probably thinking, hey, that has a little bit of a purple undertone, but when you put it on the skin, I like to use this for contour. It is beautiful. I feel like it gives just the most perfect shadow. It's not too warm, it's not too cool. It doesn't pull gray either, which is nice. And I think the reason why it doesn't pull gray is because it does have just a touch of that mauvey undertone, but on the skin, it doesn't look purple or mauve, you know what I mean? I think it's just beautiful. So if you are looking for a contour powder or you have a hard time finding a shade, I would recommend trying this one. I was very skeptical when the girl at the MAC counter, she recommended this to me, and she was just like, no, trust me, trust me. And she was close to the same complexion as me. She might have been maybe just a tish bit lighter, but I'm very pleased with it. And the brush that I always use is the Morphe M530. Someone was asking me about this in a previous video. I don't really recommend it, only because it sheds like crazy. Like, I don't want to recommend like just trash quality products. Morphe brushes are hit and miss. There are some that are great, there are some that aren't. I'm not someone that complains about it because I know what I'm getting. My only hang up why I keep using this is because I thoroughly enjoy how it applies the contour on, but it just, you know, it sheds, and it is definitely not the softest brush I've ever put on my face. Like, I'm not gonna lie. The next product for our product of the month is MAC Blush Sweet as Cocoa. I've been really going hard with my Nars Orgasm X, so I just said, okay, what else we got in here? I'm still gonna be using that one, but this is going to be my main blush of the month. Y'all know Sweet as Cocoa. It is just probably the woman of color staple blush when you think of MAC blushes. I think of this one and Raisin. I feel like those are probably the two popular amongst women of color. Just beautiful. Our next product of the month, I am loving this Benefit Precisely My Brow Pencil. I am severely late to the game. I talked about this in, I believe, my previous products of the month video because I just got it and it was new and we were testing it out. I love how it applies. It's not too dry, not too waxy, doesn't give off too much pigment. I'm just now waiting to see how long it takes me to get through it because that was my issue with my Fenty, the Brow MVP. I just felt like I went through that one really fast. I can't remember who it was, but they put up an extensive, detailed of all the brow products and just talking about how much product was in it, which I thought was extremely helpful. But one thing I wanted to mention on top of that is I understand, you know, like how much is in a product, but I feel like for a product that maybe is a little bit drier, that you maybe have to work a little bit more, you're going to use more of it because you're kind of forcing to get the pigment versus a product that you don't have to really work so hard for, where when you put it on, you just get the right amount of pigment. Like, that's how I think about this one. Even with the Brow Wiz or the Brow Definer, I feel like sometimes I have to kind of work it, but this one, as soon as you touch it on your brows, you get the pigmentation. So I think that helps you from using so much product, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But shout out to whoever left that long detailed for all the brow products and how much you're getting in it. You were amazing because I would have never done that. Next up here, nothing new. This is just always a staple. My Urban Decay Primer Potion and Caffeine. If you have dry lids, you don't need a eyeshadow primer. Save you some coins, girl. And that's the thing, we gotta stop buying products that we don't necessarily need. For instance, if you are someone who has very dry skin, I bet money on it, you, my friend, you do not need translucent powder. And I just realized I did not set up under my eyes. What am I doing? Oh, I got distracted from when the camera cut off on me. Hang on. There we go. I was like, why are my under eyes starting to crease? I did not set it. That would have been a disaster. Okay, there we go, there we go. Now that she's all set. Okay. Yeah, if you are someone who has dry skin, sis, you don't need translucent powder. Stop buying translucent powders. You're dry. It's not for you. It does not serve you. Same thing for eye primer. If you do not have oily eyelids, what are you doing buying eyeshadow primer? You don't need it. I feel like sometimes when these new products come out, we think, oh, it's new, it's popping, it's hot, I gotta try it. But if it's a product that does not work for your skin type, you don't need to buy it. You just don't need to buy it. Okay, so for our eyeshadow palette of the month, I don't have it in hand yet. It will be delivered today. I was hoping that FedEx would give me a little tap on the door this morning and then I could go ahead and use it. But our eyeshadow palette of the month is going to be the Natasha Denona Love Palette. I need to do a lot of looks with it. We're gonna do a thorough review on it in comparison to other palettes because that's a lot of money and I know some of you want to know if you need it or not. So since I don't have that, I did a declutter and I just pulled out my ABH Modern Renaissance palette. I mentioned it in my declutter video, but I'll go ahead and let you guys know now. The palettes that I decluttered, I'm going to use those one more time for a tutorial. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to do a eye look with every eyeshadow palette that I own. That is going to be a series. I have no idea what the name is going to be, so please keep in mind when you see the eyeshadow palettes and I am going to declutter, don't worry, before I get rid of those, I'm going to do a tutorial with them. I just thought that was a really cool idea. That way we can still use what we have, spark some interest, and use all of our stuff. So I'm just gonna go in, do something on the eyes really quick, nothing too crazy. Going in with Brown Fresco, this kind of like a lilac purple tone here. And I'm just going to start by packing that on this inner corner of my eye. I've been noticing what's trending right now are kind of like these pastel-y colors. That's not my jam. That's not my thing. I just feel like those colors never look good on me. I don't know. What do you guys think? It's a rare occasion that I actually see pastel tones on deeper skin. I'm like, oh yeah, I like it. But that's just me. As I pack this lilac pastel purple on my lid, I do like this shade. My Modern Renaissance palette, that is not one that I am going to declutter / get rid of, give away to someone, because as you can see, she is just used and abused. And when I give things away, if I have used it a ton, I just trash it because I just feel like that's not okay. I'm not gonna give someone something that just looks used up and abused, you know? And I forgot how much fallout ABH palettes have, which no big deal. I don't know if I'm getting a ton of fallout because this palette is so old, because that was a god awful a lot. I don't remember getting this much with this palette. I know this palette is easily, how long have I been living here? It's easily 4 years old, which that's something people don't talk about a lot. Expiration dates when it comes to eyeshadow palettes, people tend to think that it lasts forever and ever, where eyeshadow does have a long shelf life. But at the end of the day, the longer you've had a product, you know, things are going to change. The formula is going to shift a little bit. I've noticed, like with the eyeshadow palette, if I've had it for a long time, like it seems very, very powdery. And when you blend it, it kind of blends away, kind of like what's going on my eye right now. It's so funny because I got a few Instagram DMs of people saying, I didn't think you were gonna get the Love palette. I'm like, yo, I am on a mission to have the most pristine eyeshadow collection. As far as brands go, my top two, Natasha Denona and Visart. And the reason being is because I just feel like the quality, you know, when you look at the Love palette, I think to myself, oh yeah, definitely. I know I have shades like that in my collection. It's not unique at all, but what I don't have is that shade in the quality. Hopefully the quality is still the same, but that's what I am chasing now. The quality, the blendability, the impact, that's what I'm more so focused on. Because I just, you know, I want good stuff in my collection. All right, you guys, so I'm just going to throw on some liner and mascara, and then we will close out the video. All right, you guys, I am back, got my hair all dry, loving my hair today. I don't know if I'm loving it because I hadn't seen it in about 4 weeks, but loving my hair today. Got that all nice and dry. The finished product here, I used my Marc Jacobs liquid highliner and Marc Jacobs my regular liner in Earthquake. And for lips, I have an oldie but a goodie, MAC lipstick in Whirl. So this isn't my product of the month as far as lip products go, just simply because we switch our lip products out every day, but I am going back to MAC when it comes to lip products because I just feel like, I mean, if it ain't broke, y'all, like MAC makes the best lipsticks. So that is it for today's products of the month. These are my products that I'm going to be utilizing all throughout the month. You might not see me use them on every video or tutorial that I do, but when I'm not filming, these are the products that I'm using. I forgot to mention my book of the month, so I'm reading a book called Called to Create. It's a biblical invitation to create, innovate, and risk. I am obviously a creator, and I just felt like this would be very, very helpful for me, especially with my mindset and a couple of things that I am dealing with right now. How I found this book was because on the Bible app, my devotional was Called to Create, and after I've read this devotional before a while ago, but it popped back up, and I said, you know what, I want to read again. It's only 7 days long, but there is a book that went along with the devotional, and so I said, you know what, well, not went along, just in conjunction with it, and I figured I would read it. So this is the book of the month, and of course, if you guys have any other book recommendations, let me know. Down below, I want you to tell me what your products of the month are. If you have a new love for an old product, I want to hear about it. You guys know the deal. Keep it simple. I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.